Welcome to the Monday Morning Wake Up Call with your host, Kerry, managing broker at Remax Elite, and Heather Holiday, your social marketing nut, talking about hottest real estate topics with a little weekly activity and motivation for the week. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Happy Monday.
I know. Hopefully everybody has clicked the Streamyard link so that if you're commenting, we know who you are. I, of course, cycling through all my stuff on my Facebook to get the show to come up so I can watch it and comment. It never quite,
It's harder now that they've made the little change. So it's almost like you have to open up all the events. And then once we go into our video, that's supposed to give you enough time, but doesn't, then you go and refresh and then you go back and mute.
Right.
So that's so far that's working. And that's really just so that we can see who's commenting. A lot of times it'll just show Facebook user. And so we kind of split up the pages so that we can, it's my Facebook user, that's
right. Exactly. So happy Monday, everybody. I can't even believe it. We are getting closer and closer to Halloween, which means we're getting closer and closer to Thanksgiving and closer to Hanukkah and Christmas and closer to the new year, which is why we're doing business planning.
Absolutely. And this week is definitely one of my favorites.
This is all you. I'm going to just sit back with my hands in my lap. No, I'm kidding. I'm teasing.
But time because we talk about this all the time. We kind of did this whole session of, not being a secret agent. And I think it's, it's my favorite topic, but it's also almost one of my biggest pet peeves just from even managing a lot of, larger groups and the amount of people that request to join these groups and trying to go through their profile and see who they are and all of that stuff.
See if they're really agents and we should be letting them in the groups. And it's funny because I get a lot of friend requests. And like what I do is if I don't know the name, I click on the person and I try to figure out why they're friending me. If there's somebody in the industry, if they're a friend of a friend, if they're somebody I just don't recognize that I went to high school with or something like that. But a lot of times I think it's people in the industry, but you can't figure it out because they're secret agents.
Yeah. And that's, it's like a pet peeve of mine because to me, it's huge missed opportunities.
Yes.
And it almost just boils down to that. Stop making it so hard for us. And I know for me, I get agents, and brokers that text me and, you're my first go-to. Do you know someone in this area? And it's like on the top of my mind, I think I know some people, but then I go to their profile and there's no website, there's no phone number, there's no email, there's nothing. I'm going to the next person.
Right.
You can't make it so hard for me to try to find you, especially if most of my connections are through like these groups and, just on social and stuff. Stop making it so hard for us to reach out to you. And that's just really one of my biggest pet peeves. So I guess we'll just kind of jump right into it.
Yeah, let's start with it.
Your online presence. When is the last time you Googled yourself? Google your name and see what happens. Google your name plus realtor, Google your name plus where you're located. See what happens when you Google your name. It's crazy when you actually look through a lot of these online profiles. And I know it's super hard. A lot of times we forget all of these places we've set up, profiles. Think of, About Me was huge years ago. And apparently I have 2 profiles that are in there. Maybe I signed up with Facebook and then I signed up again with my email, as far as signing in. So there's a couple of them. you're just out there a lot. I mean,
Right.
probably way more than you think if you actually Google yourself, because there's a lot of these, different sites that give a lot of information. So, when it comes to your profile and also when it comes to social media in itself, I think it's just there's a
Well,
lot of
and Susan Lewis clearly didn't follow the instructions of make sure you click the thing that says
so at least we know, right?
give StreamYard your, permission. Anyway, when Susan's so right, a current photo, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, on your website, on everything, current photo. And I don't care, like, look, I'm fatter than I want to be. I'm older than I want to be. I just went through this whole meltdown pre-show with Heather of, oh my God, my hair. I mean, you are who you are. This is who people are looking at every day. And so you just have to get a current picture. If you've got the picture and your hair, gentlemen, is still dark brown and you're now salt and pepper, it's probably time for a new photo.
Or I know I was working with an agent a couple weeks ago, and on the website, his profile pictures, everything, he's kind of younger and no facial hair. And then we jump on a Zoom and like complete full beard, everything. And it was like, who are you? We need to get those updated.
Right.
So definitely current photo. That's absolutely correct. Making sure you're connected everywhere. And then also how you approach social media. I mean, one of my favorite quotes, and I'm sure it'll be my words of the week kind of thing. But for me, it's social media won't replace that handshake, but social done well is going to take that handshake to a hug on that first actual physical meeting.
Right.
And that was great. So this past Friday is a big, in Knoxville, huge game day Saturday. So Friday, every single year, our local Remax office, they do a big old tailgate party. So I went up there and I was like, oh my gosh, I realized it has been almost 3 years since before COVID. Like my last time going to the office was I had got all these socks and stuff for some of the agents at the convention right before we had no idea, that was the last thing. So
that we were going on lockdown. Yeah.
Yes. So it's like I dropped off, I got some goodies, I got some socks, because I had one of the agents was going to be doing a marathon and stuff. So I got her some cool socks from the vendors and stuff. And that was the last time I physically went to their office. So going there, luckily, I had become Facebook friends with a lot of them. So we've kept in touch that way and referrals and stuff like that. But luckily when I went there, even though it's been 3 years, we actually were able to build those relationships even online. But it became a hug when I went there, even though it's been so many years. And I had only been there a couple times because, I just moved here. So that was, that's where social media can really create those relationships and then turn that handshake greeting into a hug because you really feel like you know them. And I know that happens all the time when we go to the conventions. Sometimes it's like, we've never met an actual person. So
I know. It's that even happens to me within the realtor community here. This is so funny and a little bit embarrassing, but so I was at an event on, this past Friday we did Realtor Family Feud, but the week before that we did member benefits. So I'm there, whatever. And I talked to this one woman, or I saw her looking at me is really what it was. I saw her looking at me a couple times, but I didn't really, recognize her. And then a coworker of hers introduced us. And the woman goes, I was afraid to say anything. I'm starstruck. You're Kerry. And I was like, what? But it was funny because she felt like she knew me from Facebook, so and now we're gonna be great friends now that we know each other, but it was like immediate. And
that's to me, that is, I definitely don't say agents, it's the end all be all, it's a magic pill, it's anything like that. For me, being introverted, social media really has helped me in the way where I can get to know people and kind of be out there and be engaged. And it just helps me when I do see someone in person, because I'm not somebody who is is comfortable just going up to somebody.
Right.
It's just completely out of my comfort zone. It's, maybe a drink helps loosen me up a little bit, but I'm a lightweight, so one drink is plenty. But that's where social media helps someone like me just gain these relationships, and it just kind of buffers that and makes it
Right.
easier. Not everybody has to be on social, absolutely not. But for someone like me, I think if you do social, and it's not media, it's social, right? So if you do that social aspect, those relationships can just blossom, and it can be a game changer 100%. And
For sure.
And open doors you never thought could have been open. And that's how I view social, because that's what it's done for me. So a lot of today is just going to be a lot of just kind of different reminders and different tips and stuff like that.
So hey, here's one. So maybe you're not big on social. So let's look at your website. It's time to do an audit of your website.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. One, do you have your own custom domain? Use GoDaddy. It costs, $15 a year. I bought my son's name when he was 10. I didn't buy my daughter's because eventually she'll get married, but who knows? I think she wants to keep her name. She's in the new age. But anyway, it's like getyourname.com. First name, last name, regardless if you use it or not, just have it. I would love to be able to have my own name. I can't. It's like a ridiculous amount of money, or, the Circus Freak Show. She has that. But get your own custom domain. That way, no matter what website platform you're using, you have full control 100%. You put it on your signs, your business cards, all of your snail marketing. If you change platforms, because we do not, there's not a one size fits all when it comes to a CRM or a website platform. But by having your own custom domain that you have full control over, you direct it to what website platform you're using. So you may use this one, that works great for right now, but maybe you're looking more to build a team or a brokerage or anything like that. You have full custom. I mean, by having that domain, you have full control over all of your marketing, that domain. And don't use realtor, don't use your franchise name. Make sure not to use a trademark name or anything like that. I try to keep it simple. Always buyyourname.com. I have several. I'm one of those crazy people who just buy domains because that sounds cool.
But use something that can go with you from place to place is really what your
Absolutely. And I even think of like a tagline. What's, maybe a hashtag you use, or something that you use for your branding, or, anything like that. So get your own domain. You can have multiple domains. It doesn't matter. Just have your own, be in control over that. So it doesn't matter. Your marketing never changes or anything like that. You have full control. How often do you update your site? When's the last time you went on your site? Make sure, I'm a blogger. I like to have relevant content, information, localized photos, videos, all that kind of fun stuff.
Right.
And do you have your website on every single thing you have printed? Your signs, your business cards, all of that. We all have different websites. I know, we have our board offers free websites. The franchise offers free websites. Like, you have a website, whether
Florida Realtors offers a free website. There's so many places you can get a free website. And it's funny, I was talking to an agent the other day on our office who spends a lot of money on her website. And we were talking about, this is good. She came into my office with her spend, what she's spending, because she was doing her finances, right? So she was doing the homework, filling in the forms. And she said, I am spending so much money. I got to start trimming stuff. What do we do? So we sat here for like an hour and worked on it. But one of the things she said to me, do you have a website? I said, yes, of course I have a website. I said, but I don't pay extra for anything special. I said, because I'm not paying or doing Google pay-per-clicks or doing anything to drive people to my website. So if somebody Googles Melbourne, Florida real estate, my website's not showing up. I don't use my website to get the strangers. I use my website so that if someone has come across my name, if they are a customer of mine, if they're an old customer wanting to see if I'm still in the business, they can find it and see that I'm still in business. So you don't have to spend tons of money, especially if you're not driving people to it, which I'm only driving people to it in the ways that you just said. It's on my business card, it's on my signs, it's on my email signature, it's on, every social media I'm on. But so you don't have to spend money on a big, lead generating website company. You can use one of the free ones. You'll spend your money on your domain name, which is relatively inexpensive.
I mean, $15 a year, or you get a discount. I mean, I would just buy it for 5, 10 years,
Yeah.
whatever, especially your name.
Yep.
Get a huge discount. I think my son's is 10 years because his name's not going to change. And I don't know what he's going to do when he grows up, but he'll have it. He's going to have it.
Right.
I'm
Yes.
happily going to spend that $80 for 5 years for him. I spend a lot more on a lot more stupid stuff. So to me,
Right.
that's important. And I don't, he's an engineer and computer and all that kind of stuff. So you just never know. And I just wanted to get it because I can't get mine. But definitely your website, not everybody has different needs on what they need for a website. But for me, getting your own custom domain, make sure it represents you, make sure it's, I like to have local content, photos, something like that kind of represents you, or all that kind of fun stuff. So,
well, and so another thought is, look, we talk about this every year. We might even talk about this a couple of times a year. And you might say, oh, I don't need to hear this again. I promise you, somewhere in one of these slides we're going to go through, it's something you've forgotten to do. And so it's just important, and we always say it at minimum once a year, but I would probably do it every 6 months, just make sure everything's working. Sometimes the links on your website aren't working. So make sure that's working. Make sure.
Right. And social media, I mean, the biggest thing is go to every single one of your platforms, and just in general, make sure if like on Facebook or Instagram or something like that, in your bio, it says who you are, what you do, and your area. Make sure on like your Facebook personal that your employment or place of work links to your business page if you have one. I also tell, just because it may not have your franchise or whatnot, maybe link it also to your, your brokerage or something like that. But make sure yours is top of mind.
Yep.
Someone goes to your profile, they hover over that, it's going to give a big like button or follow so that you can kind of draw people over there, and it's not, you don't have to pay for all of that. But make sure that your business page has like that call to action, which is underneath that cover photo, learn more or visit my website or call me. I know they're really pushing for the WhatsApp and stuff like that now that Meta has that.
Right.
Make sure that there's a call to action so people can get a hold of you easily. Just make sure your profile, your bio, you have a phone number, and you can on your personal page, you can set up permissions. So maybe only friends see your cell phone number. I personally have a Google phone number is what is shown to the public because that's going to show up differently when someone calls that versus my personal cell phone number. Something you can think about.
Right.
And make sure, I would just say, use stories, reels, all of that kind of fun stuff. Just in general, the visibility is absolutely ridiculous when you see all that.
So right. It's funny to me. I mean, I'm not really, really into that stuff as much as I should be. But at the same time, it's funny. I was talking to the same person that we were going through her budget about social media because she's paying people to do her social media. And there's a certain amount of that I think is good. I mean, she's doing that on her business page and it's really inexpensive. So to free up her time to have that done is great. But I said to her the importance of being real and being yourself on your social media. And I said, are you friends with your customers? Are you friends with people you've sold houses to in the past? Yes, I am. They want to see what's going on in your life. They want to see that you're a regular, normal person. And honestly, the posts and the engagement that I get the most responses to are, really personal type posts,
and I do that for a living for agents, teams. And yeah, on a business page, it's going to be this and that and try to do engagement. Nothing will ever replace the picture of that agent and their clients, or that agent with their family, or that agent with their dog, or, out and about. What I do for them, I cannot be them as much as I try. I can't do that.
Right. Right.
The engagement is this compared to one photo of them actually in it. Well, it's completely, it's a game changer if you just be you. And that's where that personal level of social engagement, you can't do that. like I just can't be them. But if they don't want to do it, they need stuff, whatever, I'm happy to do that. But I would much rather teach an agent to do it themselves. As far as, I mean, yes, the listings and all this other foo-foo stuff, you can hire someone to do that, but you can't.
Yeah, you can't replace the human interaction. Yeah. And who you are and the reason why people like you. I mean, people like you because of who you are, and they see that through your posts.
Right. So
or they don't like you through your posts. I don't know, but
Instagram. Make sure, just know, like, you can make it easy to be able to post to Instagram and it'll go to your Facebook, but it will really depend. Do you have a personal account, a creator account, or a business account?
Yeah.
So I am a creator account, which goes to my personal Facebook. But if you have a business account, which I would recommend that you have a creator or business, just so that you can get all the insights. But a business account will then post to your business Facebook page. So it just will depend on that. But make sure that your profile shows what you do, your website. Maybe you use Linktree. I personally now use Canva, just to kind of have a little slide that'll go to all these other websites for different listings, blogs, all of that, my YouTube, all the different socials and stuff like that. Linktree you can do for free or $6 a month, or Canva. It's completely, well, included with your Canva. And if you're looking for a template, let me know. I have several of them. But make sure your username maybe reflect your business or your actual name, that your bio clearly states you're an agent plus the area. Use little emojis. People like that. It breaks up, all the text. And then make sure that your website is linked in bio, or like Linktree, Canva, something like that. Like it's like a digital card. And, you can have my listings, my solds, whatever you want it to do. There's a lot of cool things like that.
Yeah. I mean, are you using?
I'm not sure who said that, but I have them. So we'll find out who commented they wanted the Canva template. So let's see. Use stories. It doesn't have to be crazy. You do a post, click that little share button, share to my story. You can organize it to highlight. You can add little cool bubbles for highlights. I've got templates for that. Canva has templates for that as well. So you can just share a story, add a little Giphy or something that kind of makes that movement. There you go. Now you just created a story without having to recreate something you've already done. Keep it simple, start slow. I like to, in my notes, I have hashtags. So I like to have, between 5 and 10, it really depends on the post, but maybe some that are more unique to you, maybe some that are great for the area, the location. That'll help give that visibility. I follow a ton of hashtags. It's just going to pump that up, especially if you're using reels and, all the different posts and stuff like that. And then make sure to follow local businesses and stuff. Comment, be engaging with that. You can share their post to your story. So I wasn't at the UT game, but it was like a big thing up here in Knoxville. So I'm just I follow the UT footballs and all the kind of fun little things that happen. I just share their post over to my story. I don't have to highlight it. It's just something that happened here. It's just fun stuff. So, make sure that, you can do that too. Share the love, be engagement with places that you absolutely love. I mean, that keeps it kind of local and all that kind of fun stuff. So that's Instagram, Facebook as well. I don't do as many reels and stories on Facebook as I do on Instagram. I'm not 100% sure I like the whole Facebook reels. It's not as easy to create, and I don't like the way it shows up in my feed. It's, Instagram is nice and organized. Same with the TikTok and stuff.
So let's move on to YouTube too. So are you doing YouTube? But if you're not doing YouTube, you're not doing YouTube. So don't worry about it. But one of our good friends in the area, Eric Larkin, gets lots of business from his YouTube, but he's consistent and he does it all the time. But it's branded to him. We know it's him. He's got it linked to his website. He's got an intro video, so you know what it is. You know what I mean? So if you're into YouTube,
and it's super easy. If you have Google, you have YouTube, you just need to create an account. I say create a business account. There's so many great things. You don't even have to do videos to have a beautiful YouTube channel. So if you're like, what does that mean? You can actually take other videos and save them to a playlist on your channel and then organize them that way. We can get into that. I think I have blogs and stuff like that on that. But if you want to get into YouTube, it's absolutely incredible. It's one of my favorite, have custom thumbnails, all that kind of fun stuff. Just make sure that if you do have YouTube, that you have everything kind of looking pretty. And I'm happy to help you with that because I'm pretty obsessed with YouTube.
Well, here's another one, LinkedIn, which I've started using more and more and more and more. And just note to self, Barbara, we need to get back on LinkedIn. I
also think if you know, some people are like, oh, I would love to do blogs or articles or share content, but my website doesn't offer that. Do that on LinkedIn. You would be amazed at the visibility that those articles will get, and that kind of saves right onto your profile. But if you want to do blogging and you don't have a website that offers that, do it right there on LinkedIn. It's crazy.
And so I'll just tell you what Barbara and I have done in the past, and we've gotten away from it. We need to get our act together. We each would pick an article every Monday. She would post hers on Monday. I would post mine on Mondays, and we'd share each other the link. And then I would post whatever she posted on Thursday or Friday, and so that we were having content twice a week.
Good.
Yeah, which was good.
And now you can even do videos and all that kind of stuff on LinkedIn. They've kind of helped that, but make sure to go look at your profile. It kind of blows my mind when I'm doing websites, how many people forgot, you know, maybe they changed brokerages or something, but they forgot to go on the LinkedIn to change that. I see that a lot. So make sure that you have a full bio and everything is, I think it's just one of those forgotten, because it's not as engaging as all the other social platforms, but it is very impactful. Go there, great business to business and stuff like that. But just make sure, just like everything,
right?
Check your profiles, you know, your social media, the MLS, your Google business. You can make sure you have one of those. Zillow, Realtor.com, Homes.com, your office, your franchise. Those are just some of the little things. To make sure to go and check those profiles, your photo, bio, website, that you have everything linked there. I also love brandyourself.com. It's a free service. You can upgrade. And I mean, I've done that too, just to do more. You can put in your name. It's going to do a full search. It'll kind of ask you, is this you? Is this you? Is this positive? It's negative. It's not going to like it if you have a lot of pictures of you in solo cups. But just, it's really a great way for, you know, another program to just kind of go out there and see what they find with your name. And that I try to do a couple times a year. And then I have this ongoing list that I have. I don't even know what year I started this list in my email. And it's got everything you've said, but it's also got, you need to go to the Florida Realtors. You need to go to the National Association of Realtors. You need to go to whatever designations you have. If you're a WCR, Women's Council of Realtors, you need to go there. And then they have this great platform called Radius. I've gotten great referrals through Radius, and only because I sat on a webinar 2 years ago with a gal, Sam. She's up there in Chicago. She's her sister actually lives here in Merritt Island, and she taught us how to set up our Radius profiles. And I set that up, and I got like 2 of the best leads of my career off of that. What else? I'm also what else am I? I'm a CRS. I'm an ePro. All of those designations that you have, you want to make sure you go through all of those platforms as well, and have your current picture, your current website, your current email, your current brokerage. Like you said, that's the thing I notice the most when I look somebody up and I'm, you know, oh, who are they with? And then you find out who they're saying they're with was like 3 brokerages ago. Right. Now, and I see that all the time just from helping people with websites and really trying to go to their Zillow, go to their, you know, different platforms for reviews or whatever it may be for a bio. And I see that a lot. And the same with photos. Right. It's like, oh, you know, I mean, this looks like a 20-year-old photo. When's the last time you came over there? So just really, I mean, whether you use brandyourself.com, go Google yourself, and just, I mean, these are just kind of the basics of where we probably have our profile. Really just kind of go through there.
And this is Stephen Thagger just tuned in from Embrace Home Loans. Hey, Stephen. And so, I mean, this is good for everybody. This is not just for real estate, you know. Steven, is your photo updated? I know it is. I mean, he's not one of those guys with the brown hair, but he's in real life salt and pepper. His photo is salt and pepper, so it's important anyway.
So the homework, I guess that's basically what the weekly activity is, but it's just really, update those online profiles. Go through and maybe do a screenshot of one of the photos or something like that.
Good idea.
Especially Instagram. I feel a lot of people may have started that, or they may do that. Instagram seems to be, and Facebook business page for me, or your personal, that about section and where you work, that's huge. And I just know, because managing these groups, we probably get around 100 requests a week. And, a lot of people, they'll even send us messages like, I've tried to join this group, a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago. And it's like, you're just going to sit there. If you haven't answered the questions and you are a secret agent and don't have anything about who you are, there's no photos because you have your profile completely locked down, you're just going to sit there, or you're going to be declined until you fix it and try it again.
Yeah.
Because we'll have like 300 just sitting in the queue, and it's all people who have their profile locked down. They don't have anything in their about section about who they are, where they work, or anything like that. So they just sit there. And now we're just kind of over it, because it really stinks when we see that there's over 300 people trying to get in. So I'll just decline them. And you know what? Fix your profile and try it again. Maybe answer some questions and all of that. You just, especially you're trying to join any real estate, Facebook groups or anything like that. What does your profile look like, and how locked down do you have it?
Yeah, well, and here's another good suggestion.
Somebody hates Instagram.
I knew who that was because it shows to me as a Facebook user. I knew that was Susan. I could hear her saying it.
I love Instagram. Instagram is probably my favorite, right? And I love YouTube too.
I'm with Susan. I hate Instagram too. But here's another thing that I did probably a year ago. I went on to Fiverr and I paid somebody to write a bio for me. And that just comes in handy. All I do is copy and paste it. And I'm speaking at an event tomorrow, Women in Real Estate. And they wanted a bio, and it was easy. So I just copied and paste. So now there's consistency through everything I do. And as they're pasting, as they're posting about the event tomorrow, they have my bio. That's the same bio that's on my website. That's on Remax. That's on, Florida Realtors. That's everywhere. So that's even a great idea. Work with somebody to help you write the bio. We're not writers. We are kind of, because we write MLS narratives, but we can't be expected to do everything. So where you need the help, get the help.
Absolutely. Delegate.
Yep.
Delegate. Yep. So let's see, our weekly activity.
So you're going to do an engaging post on social media using hashtag Reignite 2023 for your chance to win a $50 gift card. And I think Heather made a perfect suggestion. Take a snapshot or a screenshot of one of your profiles that you update and do that post with hashtag Reignite 2023.
Yep. Nope. That'll be perfect. And then your words of wisdom: our social media will not replace a handshake, but social media done well will replace that handshake to a hug.
Nice.
That's just one of my favorite quotes when it comes to social media, because I think a lot of people think media, and I think of it as being social, because it can be a complete game changer and open up more doors than you ever thought possible if you actually use the platform socially.
Exactly. So, and then, all right, we did the homework, and next week is week 4 of our business planning. So we're going to wrap it up, which is.
Yes. That's when we actually create that roadmap to success. So it is one of my favorite weeks, because I get super excited after doing numbers and really being able to plug and play those to make this work for January 2023, and actually ramping it up so that this last 2 months of the year, we can really get excited for 2023 because we won't be, thinking about all that. We'll have our roadmap, and hopefully we'll just get you so excited that you'll start early. So
exactly.
until next week, wake up, kick ass, and repeat. We'll see everyone next week. Bye, guys.